Our innovations create your values. Our technologies move your heart. And our products make your life richer. We invite you to the world of inspiration, created by the global auto parts manufacturer, Ctr. It's been 40 years. We have written uniquely passionate and challenging history. With 8 affiliated companies, including Ctr Motec, Ctr DTS, Ctr CMS, and Ctr LTS, we're becoming a true auto parts expert, operating regional offices in China and the United States, and expanding our business to the distribution of raw materials and eco-friendly energy. Continuing its record-breaking growth with over 100 patents in Korea and overseas, with being selected as GM's outstanding partner for 4 years in a row, and with being Hyundai and Kia Motors' outstanding new technology development partner. Ctr is advancing to be the world-leading auto parts manufacturer. There are thousands of parts that go into building an automobile. And just like the number of parts, there are many parts manufacturers. But we stand out from our competition. From the history of Korea's first localized steering parts, to incomparable ball joints with unmatched global market share, suspension parts, including Korea's first forged aluminum arms, drive shafts that lead the eco-friendly market with advanced technologies, and even to engine parts. Ctr products are created using our extensive know-how and technologies, and these products are the very reason why Ctr continues to be the world-leading auto parts manufacturer. Using optimal engineering and standardized technologies, we strive for new technologies and methods to introduce lighter and safer products to the world. Preliminary simulations are conducted in every process, from raw materials to shipment. And our integrated manufacturing process maximizes our efficiency. Each product is tested and measured using state-of-the-art equipment for higher precision. And Ctr's error-proof system for detecting small errors invisible to the human eye ensures impeccable global quality. Through these efforts, Ctr has earned much-deserved recognition for its competitiveness from Korean automobile manufacturers such as Hyundai and Kia Motors, as well as American and European brands. Ctr's recognition for outstanding technology and quality in OEM markets extends to aftermarket industries as well. Neo Ctr is an affiliate company which specializes in the export of aftermarket products to promote the brand values of Ctr while reaching out to our customers. In collaboration with over 20 partners in Yongsan Auto Valley, in Changnyeong, Neo Ctr manufactures auto parts with the identical quality as OEM parts quickly and efficiently. Neo Ctr supplies over 3,000 trustful made-in-Korea products to over 300 buyers from all around the world, even from the hottest deserts and the coldest regions. We aim to go beyond CSM 8.8 and achieve CSM 4.5. Central's endless efforts to achieve faster delivery. It is our dedication to present a better tomorrow. We prepare better quality of life and better future. We believe that mutual trust among us reaches to our customers. So all our employees unite as one through communication and harmony. We believe that human resources are the key to the future. We share our profits under the belief that harmony is the key to true growth. A green company that listens to the voices of our planet and life. Now, we are pursuing a greater dream. Because we know that imagination will become a reality and lead us to the future. We are never fully satisfied with our achievements as we continue one innovation after another. With the capacity for executing governmental projects over the past 20 years at our R&D Center, we will make smart automobiles, leading the smart era, and protect the natural environment of our precious planet. With leading technologies, quality and human resources, Central will join the global top 100 auto parts manufacturers by 2020. Until that day, we will continue to pave new ways with our infinite dedication. Innovative company of creating customer value.
Wear durability test. Tire audit. Hybrid stabilizer link. Ball joint. High-low temp conditions. Seal durability test. Center link. Fatigue durability test. Inner outer tie rod assembly. Displacement measuring. Ball joint. Test value. Rotating torque measuring. Ball joint. Impact test. Inner outer tie rod assembly. Salt spray test. Pull-out test. Inner tie rod. Test result output.
Hi, so good evening po sa inyong lahat. This is Paul Bayani from Ctr. Now, thank you participants for joining the Ctr Webinar. On behalf of the automotive retail stores of the TAN group of companies from Leyte area, mentioned ko po lahat, NBL Auto Parts, LRAS Trading, OHG, Auto Supply and Surplus Center, Reg Friendly Auto Supply, Carrera Auto Parts Center, Reiki Enterprises. From Tacloban area, I hope everybody's okay po. Bravo Una Parts and Surplus Shop, TGC Auto Supply and General Merchandise, Urgus Best, Maharlika and Auto Parts Supply, Urgus Best Main Auto Parts Supply, Urgus Co Auto and Truck Parts Outlet. Samar area po, Udaisu Trading, GS Auto Supply, CH Auto Parts, Borongan Auto Supply, Shelby Branch, ANS Auto Supply. So last is from the Bicol area. So Besuto Auto Supply and Bestie Auto Supply. So thank you po. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating webinar participants, sa mga nanonood po ngayon. I hope everybody from the province are doing okay now. Before we officially start the webinar, I'd like to introduce po sa VIP from our CTR factory. I'd like to introduce two very, very handsome Korean guys. Mr. Richard and Mr. Nick Park.
Good evening, everyone. I hope now the technical situation is better than like 5 seconds. My name is Richard Lee, Sales Team Leader of CTR. And firstly, and most of all, I do appreciate your kind interest in CTR and sharing your precious time today. Also, I would like to show my sincere gratitude to hosts of this seminar and my beloved partner, Capco, for giving CTR this wonderful chance. Secondly, I have no doubt Mrs. Marlin and Mr. Paul prepared good seminar, and no doubt you can take many useful informations out of this event. And to do so, we CTR have today two CTR R&D engineers, Mr. Park and Mr. Zhang. Mr. Park and Mr. Zhang, please wave your hands just shortly, please. Thank you. Those gentlemen, the best ones I ever known at CTR, and they are here to give you the most accurate answers about technology. I finish my speech now with my hope that next time I can join seminar offline after COVID, and then we enjoy together what's planned after the seminar. Your happiness is my business. Please enjoy tonight with CTR. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Richard, for your warm welcome with our seminar participating in our event for today. So I'd like to remind lang po regarding our event, we will be providing some gifts and prizes. So kailangan lang po natin naka-register po tayo and then listen all throughout po ng seminar natin. Of course, kailangan lang po natin write ng comment sa comment section and then Of course, we will be providing some giveaways po. Ano po ba yung mga giveaways natin? Some CTR t-shirts, merchandise po ng mga CTR, notepad, and of course, we have some face masks. So, mandatory na po face mask, and then we have some CTR as well. And so, we can start this today's event. So, please watch po.
We're on. We're live. We're live now. We're good. Hi. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like to greet lang everybody watching from Leyte, TGC Group, from Tacloban area as well, and then Samar area and Bicol area. So for today po, I will be the facilitator for today's event. My name is Paul Bayani po ng CTR. So our discussion for today will be mostly for the CTR brand. Now, for today's topic, we have 5 discussion na itatakan natin, but most of them would be for the brand itself. Para at least you have an idea kung sino si CTR. Okay, so we'll start with, of course, a safety precaution, safety guideline from CTR itself. So, okay, so of course, we have to ensure our distance at least 1 meter apart from one another, wash hands frequently, and then always wear a face mask. So this time, wala po akong face mask because I'm very far away from sa video cameraman po natin and then some our audience. So lahat naman po tayo, we're doing this live. Okay? So of course, sino po ba si CTR? Who is CTR? So I'd like to show us a sample clip lang of our company, an intro. So please watch.
Our innovations create your values. Our technologies move your heart. And our products make your life richer. We invite you to the world of inspiration, created by the global auto parts manufacturer, Central. It's been 40 years. We have written uniquely passionate and challenging history. With 8 affiliated companies, including Central Motec, Central DTS, Central CMS, and Central LTS, we're becoming a true auto parts expert, operating regional offices in China and the United States, and expanding our business to the distribution of raw materials and eco-friendly energy. Continuing its record-breaking growth with over 100 patents in Korea and overseas, with being selected as GM's outstanding partner for 4 years in a row, and with being Hyundai and Kia Motors' outstanding new technology development partner. Central is advancing to be the world-leading auto parts manufacturer. There are thousands of parts that go into building an automobile. And just like the number of parts, there are many parts manufacturers. But we stand out from our competition. From the history of Korea's first localized steering parts, to incomparable ball joints with unmatched global market share, suspension parts, including Korea's first forged aluminum arms, drive shafts that lead the eco-friendly market with advanced technologies, and even to engine parts. Central products are created using our extensive know-how and technologies, and these products are the very reason why Central continues to be the world-leading auto parts manufacturer. Using optimal engineering and standardized technologies, we strive for new technologies and methods to introduce lighter and safer products to the world. Preliminary simulations are conducted in every process, from raw materials to shipment. And our integrated manufacturing process maximizes our efficiency. Each product is tested and measured using state-of-the-art equipment for higher precision. And Central's error-proof system for detecting small errors invisible to the human eye ensures impeccable global quality. Through these efforts, Central has earned much-deserved recognition for its competitiveness from Korean automobile manufacturers such as Hyundai and Kia Motors, as well as American and European brands. Central's recognition for outstanding technology and quality in OEM markets extends to aftermarket industries as well. Neo Ctr is an affiliate company which specializes in the export of aftermarket products to promote the brand values of Central while reaching out to our customers. In collaboration with over 20 partners in Yongsan Auto Valley, in Changyang, Neo Ctr manufactures auto parts with the identical quality as OEM parts quickly and efficiently. Neo Ctr supplies over 3,000 trustful made-in-Korea products to over 300 buyers from all around the world, even from the hottest deserts and the coldest regions. We aim to go beyond CSM 8.8 and achieve CSM 4.5. Central's endless efforts to achieve faster delivery. It is our dedication to present a better tomorrow. We prepare better quality of life and better future. We believe that mutual trust among us reaches to our customers. So all our employees unite as one through communication and harmony. We believe that human resources are the key to the future. We share our profits under the belief that harmony is the key to true growth. A green company that listens to the voices of our planet and life. Now, we are pursuing a greater dream. Because we know that imagination will become a reality and lead us to the future. We are never fully satisfied with our achievements as we continue one innovation after another. With the capacity for executing governmental projects over the past 20 years at our R&D center, we will make smart automobiles, leading the smart era, and protect the natural environment of our precious planet. With leading technologies, quality, and human resources, Central will join the global top 100 auto parts manufacturers by 2020. Until that day, we will continue to pave new ways with our infinite dedication. Innovative company of creating customer value.
So, now upon watching the video, you saw that CTR is a global supplier for steering and suspension parts. Now, what we also saw or noticed that CTR is a supplier for major car brands, and then they introduced as well na meron po tayong aftermarket division. Now, I'll tackle both muna, but of course, we'll head on to CTR itself. Sino po ba si CTR? CTR is a company that was established in 1952 in Busan, Korea. So, please take note po, meron po tayong question and answer at the end of the seminar po. So, I hope na lahat po nakikinig sa atin. Okay? Si CTR was established in 1952 in Busan, Korea. And then, the company is actually si Central Corporation. Central Corporation owns the brand of CTR. They are a major company in Korea that supplies suspension and steering parts. Meron din po tayong mga business na nag-start tayo with irons. Nag-start po tayo ng mga moldings. Yan. So, here, makikita po natin yung history niya. This is a quick guide lang po kung saan tayo nag-start. From 1952 onwards up to 2015. After 2015, meron na po tayong mga other business na inopen, which is mga research and development within certain area like in Europe and in Russia. So, dito po makikita natin na the company is growing exponentially. Regardless, meron pa po tayong pandemic or not. So, we are still supplying these products. So, makikita po natin a quick history of what CTR is really all about. So, sino po ba si CTR? What is CTR producing? We have a customer network of 313 global customers. So, these customers include Hyundai, Kia Motors, and then the rest po makikita natin. Yeah, so we're supplying more than 3,000 kinds of parts. Yeah. So, you can see on this chart na ang mga sinusupply natin product for these major customers are ito po. So, major supplier na sinusupply natin is of course si Hyundai and Kia. So, all of their parts majority are being supplied by CTR. Who is RSM? This is Renault Samsung Motors. Ito naman po, this is a domestic business in Korea that Samsung is producing cars on their own. We have of course GM. Sino po ba si GM? We have Chevrolet there. Ford, of course, we are also supplying for Ford. And then the rest po, si Chrysler, Tesla, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, and then, of course, BMW. So, these are some of the customers that we are supplying globally. Now, that is CTR. Okay? So, the product overview of CTR is basically what we'll be discussing mainly is suspension. And then, makikita natin dito, it's suspension, powertrain, and steering. Makikita natin, si suspension has majority of the share for the production. Suspension parts is around 44%, and then steering is around 25%. So, these two are ang tatakilin natin. Powertrain, wala tayo masyadong demand in Philippine territory. So, we'll skip into that. Head on tayo sa suspension and steering. Okay. For suspension, majority of CTR's production, you saw it naman na it's 44%. 44% of that is allocated into several category. Meron tayong mga major models in sections like control arm na tayo gumagawa para kay Sonata or Genesis. 27% we're doing it for Carnival or Sportage. And then the rest we're doing for ball joint, for Kia. Yan. For steering naman po natin, 25%. We're doing BMW. So, outer tie rod, we're doing BMW's outer tie rod. So, majority of the business na natin is consisted dito sa mga models na to, BMW and Sonata. We have, of course, major model natin for inner tie rod is Mustang and Sonata as well. And then the rest, meron din po tayo, tie rod, steering gear. Okay, now, here's a quick introduction. That is, pinag-usapan natin is the CTR side. This is the original OE business ni CTR. So, we started as an original manufacturer for many car brands, European as well, and then we moved to aftermarket. So, this would be our discussion for today, the aftermarket business. In this chart, makikita natin it says, "Take OE Tech with you." This is the CTR's brand slogan for the aftermarket business. What it really means is that with the share company of CTR or the experience from the other side, being an OE business, they have the facility to also produce OE quality. Let's take a deeper look. CTR in aftermarket, here we serve over 300 customers in over 100 countries. So, meron tayong 300 customers all over the globe. Depende sa kanilang continent. So, of course, we have in Europe, Asia, Southern America, Latin America. We are catering to those. We were able to we have more than 50 years or 60 years of know-how experience as an OE supplier. And then we have 8,500 SKU. Now, itong SKU natin, malalaman natin kung ano yung sharing natin. So, sa side ng mga suspension, of course, that's included ang mga shocks and some brake pads na pinuproduce. But, concentrate tayo sa steering and suspension alone. With these SKUs, we are covering 97% of most popular cars in Southeast Asia. So, yung maandar ngayon in Southeast Asia, yung mga vehicles in operation, halos cover natin. We are also planning to cover the top 70 vehicles from 2014 to 2018. So, this is pinaka-goal ni CTR to cover majority of the fast-movings and those well-known brands within those years. We share the R&D experience and know-how with the OE side. We are certified data supplier for Tech Alliance. So you can check po kung sino si Tech Alliance. They are also same as an ISO accreditation. So having a certification coming from these well-known companies guarantee the facility, the management is beyond standard or is aligned in standard globally. CTR can actually produce up to 54 million pieces ng pyesa. So in a year, we can produce globally 54 million pieces. So imagine how many pieces that being allocated globally sa share natin. Now, this is the overview lang, but I'll tackle more in detail kung ano si CTR. So we have here is the facility in Korea. So the main capacity each year alone, this factory can produce is 24 million pieces. 24 million pieces. Bakit ko ina-emphasize? Later po, malalaman nyo why. We have over 200 employees working on this site. And then the main production really is steering and suspension. We have our own web catalog. You can browse freely, no problem. Pwede nyo po siya ma-check. For any concerns or gusto nyo ma-achieve na product ni CTR ma-brought here, we can do so. So, again, highlighting the customers natin. So, in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Russia, Asia, Australia. So, these 8 continents were serving over 100 countries with 300 customers. So, why do we need to do so? Why do we need to bring them our product? Bakit po ba? Very simple lang naman po. Because they trust. Nobody knows actually the brand CTR. Now, they only know, of course, the OE business. Sa atin po, we simply want to share those experience with the customers para po at least they can have the same technology, same level of satisfaction for our products. Yeah. Here we have our chart for our recent achievement. So, in over 7 countries, we were announced number 1 for supplying major car parts or suspension and steering. Makikita po natin that even our compound annual growth rate increased. Yeah. So, of course, the introduction for CTR really is majority is for the OE business. So, ano po ba talaga mga na-achieve ni CTR? Makikita po natin dito na we have been awarded more than 50 years of experience and within the business, very well-versed na po si CTR, especially with the aftermarket. So, here makikita natin yung mga achievement ni CTR that we were awarded since 2002 and then onwards. Next. Here, this is our total SKUs, 8,500 plus SKUs, and that we are producing 400 SKUs every year. So, imagine how many products ang kailangan natin i-release globally and the demand that we need to supply. For suspension alone, we're talking about the suspension kasi makikita po natin dito, suspension, steering, and then other. So, iset aside natin si other. Let's look at suspension and steering. So, for here, makikita natin si suspension nasa 889 pieces. For control arm, we have 627 pieces. For bushing, it's 521 pieces. Ball joint, 517 pieces. Steering, 106.7 pieces. Rack end, 748. So, I'm talking about the car models, yung how many we have to serve. So, imagine, bushing alone, kano kaliit si bushing. So, for each brand, we need to supply, which necessarily hindi naman namin kailangan, but we have to because we are also in line with suspension and the steering business. Next is our portfolio coverage. Our business actually consists, when we hear about CTR, kung sino si CTR, mostly, ang sinasabi nila, oh, CTR is actually Korean. No. It is made in Korea, but our products consists of many other applications such as for Japanese, European, and American vehicles. So makikita po natin in this chart, we are supplying 54% non-Japanese vehicles. And then for Korean, we are supplying 28% alone. So there's this misconception that, oh, we're only providing Korean vehicles for Korean market. Yes, we do that. We have a concentration on that, but we also cater to a larger market, which is predominantly si Philippines is mostly by Toyotas, by Japanese vehicle, Nissan, Montero, yan. But we can also serve those. Now, one major advantage having CTR and Neo CTR to business is that the design advantage. In terms of the design advantage, what we mentioned is early on the slides, makikita natin na meron tayong R&D, research and development. The research and development alone is a foundation na pwede natin ipagyabang na we are facilitating our own research and development to produce high-end quality parts. So we don't rely really on other third-party applications na we have to send a product, they send the details to us, then we have to modify. No, we can actually research and produce those products and develop it by ourselves. We have engineering specialists from mechanical to many employees that are working for CTR. So these are some of the testing facility na makikita ho natin. 50 test equipment in operation. Now, most of them we would be using in cooperation with the OE side. So makikita natin this is some of the facilities na kailangan natin gawin para ma-commit natin yung quality assurance. Okay? So we're not just making this na parang, oy, we have a brand, we can make that. No, we have to actually test them out, produce them, and do a lot of research bago namin i-roll out. So one of those major test equipment, of course, elasticity tests, where durability tests, ball joint load simulator, yan. Most of the things na sinabi ko are actually nagkakaroon tayo ng, in terms of our road condition, ito yung may mga impact sa atin. We have 20 plus programs that are being utilized in design, development, and analysis. So ano po ba yung mga products na mga steps na yon? So we're doing linear static, fatigue, casting, and many more. So these testings are being pre-produced prior to actually producing the actual material. So we have to test it out by a simulation para makita natin saan yung breaking point, ano yung pinaka low point ng material, or where the item is really in need of improvement. Next. Yeah. So this one is a common case number one. Case number one po natin, discuss natin. This is the structure of ball joint. In here, makikita po natin, we have the traditional or conventional, which is the grease nipple type. And then we have here is the design from CTR, which is ball seat or encapsulated. Now, with everything that you can see in comparison with our product, meron si grease nipple na hardened ball stud, hardened seat, preloading spring, and grease nipple. In comparison, makikita natin dito kay ball seat or encapsulated that we're using nylon nut. We don't have a grease nipple. Meron po tayong naka-encapsulated na po siya. So, pinaka-advantage of this, and I hope na maalala nyo, is that this is maintenance-free compared to the conventional one na kailangan natin magkaroon ng grease. Lagyan natin every 3 months. But their function is basically the same. The advantage of both lang naman is one can load up more volume kasi steel. And then si ball seat, because it's using engineered plastic to handle all the pressure, this can actually accommodate a larger spec of vehicles, especially for small cars. In this case, si Ctr is well known for small cars talaga. Okay, so that is one advantage. That is a design advantage ng Ctr. It is maintenance free. Wala na po tayong grease. You don't need to add grease. Hindi na po natin kailangan butasan. In some case po, napabisita kami sa province, there was meron po silang sinabi sa amin na it was very surprising. Dinrill nila yung ilalim, which was already steel, tapos nilagyan nila ng grease. So, please do not do that kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng problem, integrity ng build natin. Kasi these products are well tested naman to accommodate certain volume of cars. So, pero we'll tackle that a little bit more pa. So, discuss na natin. We'll move forward with this one. So, we see, we'll show you a video actually of the difference ng ball stud metal to metal, and then, of course, I'll tell you about it kung ano yung difference niya. Okay?
Moog's Gusher powdered metal bearing design uses a rubber spring. The spring is supposed to keep pressure on the stud so the ball stays in one place inside the housing. However, over time, the rubber spring becomes fatigued and loses its ability to recoil and keep constant pressure on the ball stud. This causes a gap to form at both ends of the ball, and when there is a gap, you've got end play and the stud starts banging around inside the housing. Now the ball joint can't properly hold a vehicle's exact alignment specifications, and that causes tires to wear prematurely. This friction on the powdered metal ball stud causes granules to wear off, and they are extremely abrasive, contributing to failure. Once looseness starts, it gets worse, and the ball joint needs replacing. Another shortcoming in the competitor's two-piece stamped housing is that the design leads to end play. The two-piece stamped housing, bottom seat spring, powdered metal bearing, and ball stud have combined stack-up tolerances that create more opportunity for end play.
Alright, so after watching that, may na-notice po ba sila? So may na-notice naman. Dito makikita, doon po, sa nakita nyo, sa napanood nyo, ang pinaka-noticeable is that metal to metal tends to break. Nagkakaroon po siya ng damage over time due to the road condition, nawawalan siya ng grease or lubrication. Nagkakaroon siya ng granules that could actually have an effect in terms of the integrity of the build. Yung spring niya, hindi na same build as before. So, nagkakaroon na ng kalampag. Ito yung nagkakaroon na ng ingay. Once that happen, it needs for, kailangan na change. So, here, pakita ko po sa inyo yung slide natin for the design advantage, before and after. Okay. Here, we can see, before the test, si plastic ball seat is well polished. And then, on the other side, katabi niya, metal housing. So, we compare steel ball seats to Ctr products using plastic ball seats. The wear durability test shows the durability of product by repeatedly. So, binubugbog po natin paulit-ulit. Moving the ball joint hundreds of thousands of times. So, imagine kung meron po kayo on hand na mga ball joint and trying to move it as many as possible. Imagine how a machine can do that. Kasi ang machine, di naman niya nararamdaman, basta it will just apply the force. So imagine after the testing what happened. Makikita po natin in the slide that in some form, na-retain po ni plastic ball seat, which is CTR, yung kanyang integrity. So, it's still very polished. Meron lang po siya mga minor scrapes kasi from the, sa gasgas. But that doesn't mean na nasira po yung kanyang integrity. Now, what happened do sa metal ball stud? Do sa nagkaroon siya ng crack. Now, this is what we saw na kanina sa video. Once nagkaroon na siya ng crack, this will slowly eat it up. Magkakaroon na tayo ng granules. Those granules can actually be a contributor for damage for the long term. Okay, so keep that in mind po. Si CTR, yung mga design natin ng mga ball joints are usually maintenance free na po siya for long term. So there's a peace of mind na, itong product na to can really last longer compared to this one. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Here, I'll show a video lang po showing the sample or the smoothness nung stud natin. So this is from a well-known product, well-known brand here in the Philippines. Makikita niyo naman po sa slide kung ano siya, anong part number, anong model, and then for what vehicle and what brand. So let's watch what. Okay. So after watching that, we saw na meron na sila, ang difference nila is that even si Genuine in some form is using the same technology that many years na ginagamit na ni CTR. So we suspect that they're using also the same type of technology that CTR is using. Another evidence is that the use of the nylon nut. Now, ano po ba difference nito? In the earlier video, pinakita po natin, meron tayong correct fastening. So, ito lang po yung niro-roscas natin. Very easy lang po siya. Bakit po kailangan ganito ang design concept natin? Very simple. It is to avoid any unintention na matagalan si customer pag bend pa ng cutter pin. Kasi kailangan yan, once you insert the cutter pin, you need to bend it over para mag-lock. So, si CTR, they design certain products to align in OEM standards. So, yung iba po natin mga products are already using nylon nut. Nylon nut is simply for using correct fastening. So, later, there are three concepts bakit mas approved siya for many car brands. So, here is another evidence na ginagamit natin, si nylon nut. So, as you can see, this is the part number ni Mitsubishi. Sabihin ko na po, yan, si Mitsubishi, this is for Mirage G4. So, here's an evidence from the factory itself or the dealership na gumagamit din sila ng nylon nut. Why? Because this is the standard na ngayon for many car brands. They're using, so we align ourselves or we part tayo ng OE standard. So we would always be aligned in terms of the standard na nilalabas ng mga car manufacturers. Here is a closer look ng design advantage. Now, I said there were three components in really an advantage ng nylon nut. One is, of course, the safety, durability, and then, of course, the workability. Very simple lang naman po siya. The nylon material inserted effectively increases the grip. So, once nakaroskas na po siya, it will not budge sa sobrang higpit na po niya kasi it actually na-absorb niya na po yung mismong roskas. Mahirap na po siyang tanggalin. But if you were able to do so, you can actually use it up to 5 to 10 times. Pwede niyo pa siyang gamitin before it loses its integrity. In terms of the durability, nylon inserted between nut and bolt threads removes the gap. This prevents the inflow of foreign substance. So, ano po ba ibig sabihin ng foreign substance? Ito po yung mga material, dust, anything that actually can contribute to having the internal damage or magkaroon ng damage exterior sa kanyang product. So, kasi when we say water, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga corrosion. If we were to say dust or mga sand, this can cause granules na pwede magkaroon ng kaskas sa product itself. So, nawawala siya ng integrity, nalulose niya yung build niya. Workability, very simple lang po workability niya. When you have the nylon nut itself, you simply insert it and then you place it. After that, place, turn, and then you check. Kasi when you place it na, the next step is to turn it. Roscas nyo na lang by hand, by hand, by hand. And then, you check kung ano na po siya, it's well tight. Yun po siya. So, auto part manufacturers make efforts into developing technologies to mitigate the vibration caused by the surface of the road. So, this is one way of actually going against that kanilang concern is, of course, in various countries, in various regions, not all are same pavement naman, hindi naman magkakaparehas lahat na patag. In their country, malinis po, to be honest. And then sa atin naman, we are, hindi pa ganun ka latag ang ating mga daan. So, this is one way of going against that notion na baka kasi sobrang vibration, nagkakaroon ng problem, and then that the durability ng product is having an effect due to those vibration caused by the road. So, yun yung reason natin. So, that's one design advantage of the nylon nut, and then, of course, yung ball seat. Okay, so another advantage is the difference in structure of ball joint. So, here we have a sample, Ctr, and then a Japan brand. So, you can see that in terms of the difference, practically the same. In terms of function, same naman po talaga sila. There are some certain things na binago to accommodate or to have a better performance against the other. Ano po ba yung difference natin? Of course, we talk about the nylon nut. We talk about yung kanya encapsulated type. Meron din po siyang insert type, and then coating on the socket body. We don't apply grease because this is maintenance free. Compared to the other, which this model is actually for Nissan Banet. So, alam nyo na po yan sa province. Alam nyo po yan. Kasi gamit na gamit po to. Yan. So, in terms of, sa other naman po, we're using, of course, the conventional. Ito yung nakasanayan na ng Pilipino na hindi mawawala po sa atin. Even though, medyo we're moving into a better technology, we're still using these types of materials or these designs para ma-accommodate yung mga dating mga conventional vehicles. So, ano po ba yung materials na yun or their function? So, si castle nut, we're using, the other one is using castle nut, clamp ring, spring type, there's no coating on the socket body, and then, of course, grease nipple. So, technically, yes, they function the same, but of course, I mentioned earlier na si grease nipple, you need to apply every once 3 to 6 months to really have a lubrication proper dun sa loob. Si Ctr ball joint, no need na. Kasi we're housing the ball stud itself with engineered plastic. So, no need to grease it up. Meron na yan. It's already preloaded. Kaya hindi na kailangan. So, keep that in mind. That is an advantage for Ctr ball joint. It is maintenance free. Now, here, another advantage for the aftermarket products. Case number 2 is the verification of boot. So, this is actually for the subpart. OE products require verification in a variety of environments. For example, it is necessary to verify the durability and the sealing of the boot in low-high temperature environments from negative 40 to over 70 to 80 degrees. So, imagine yung kailangan niyang environment to really test even the subparts for a verification from the OE manufacturer itself. So, these designs are actually coming from them na we need to abide as well para at least our product are consistent or in align with their standards. So, the sealing of the boot should verify even under high pressure watering. So, makikita natin that yung kanyang bending is being tested between 12 hours above 80 degrees and then negative 40 degrees. So, dito makikita natin is the durability of the product. Another design advantage is, of course, using an OE-verified subparts. So, ito yung sinasabi natin kanina that once we are using boot, it should also complement the body. Yung kanyang pinaka-housing should well sealed para hindi mapasukan ng mga dust, ng water. That could actually contribute or foreign materials na pwede magkaroon ng pwede mag-cause ng contribution for internal any damage within the product. So, CTR, water inflow. Example, when we are napasukan tayo ng tubig o buhangin, nagkakaroon tayo ng gap. So, those gap could actually be a sign na pwede na natin i-replace yung ating ball joint. Water can actually be a contributor for corrosion naman. Dust can actually be a contribution for granules. So, magkakaroon siya ng effect. So, once you have corrosion, it actually eatens the durability or the integrity of the product. When you have dust, nagkakaroon tayo, nagkakaskasa. Imagine na lang, kumuha po tayo ng asin o ng buhangin. You rub it in between just your thumbs or your fingers. Mararamdaman natin nagkakaroon tayo ng mga small damage within our skin. So imagine itong mga foreign material na to could actually be a contributor in damaging your product in long term. Another advantage is, of course, we are case number 3, the groove-shaped buckling part for inner and outer tie rod. In some cases, if you were to compare the original and then if you have the aftermarket, which is, of course, we'll take this case kay CTR. So, for CTR, meron po tayong OE. Yan, makikita po natin sa screen na si OE and then CTR side by side. And then makikita nyo, meron siyang image na nagkaroon po siya ng bend. So, the bend is actually a contributor para ma-disperse niya po yung impact. Why do we need to do so? Pag kayo po natamaan na bangga at ang pinaka-closest part is actually malapit sa gearbox, this can actually damage more of the vehicle. So, in this case, when we use OE design, we are actually preventing additional internal damage sa kotse. So, this actually saves more para kay customer. And then you have the realization na binibigay pa natin kay customer are guaranteed or aligned with the manufacturer's car brand standard. So, makikita po natin, once nag-bend na po kasi siya, all of the energy coming from that impact magdi-disperse kasi nag-bend siya. So, imagine a straw, pambata po na straw, when you bend it immediately, mawawala yung energy niya, sira na siya. So, that's the same kind of concept na meron po tayo in terms of designing aligned with the car manufacturer's standard. Here, I'll show a video, one of the design na meron tayo. This is actually ginagrind niya para lang matanggal sa vehicle. So, this is about a minute or a minute and 32 seconds. So, let's watch po.
And it'll wear down as I'm going, but I don't care about saving this. For those of you that are wondering why I'm doing this, it's no good. I'm taking it off. It's a much faster way to do it because I want to get the new one on it. All right, now this is wore down to the point I can't get to it anymore, so I'm going to go put a new one on it. All right, we want to put a bigger wheel. All right, just like that. Now, you see how thick that was? That was the whole bolt. That cuts right through it like nobody's business. Tap it right there. Bingo.
Now, upon watching that, nakita po natin na kailangan niya pa gumamit ng separate machine or a grinder para lang matanggal yung product. Now, nakita po natin that he's actually just using a grinder to remove it, though pwede naman po siya remove it by a tool. Now, ang naging problem niya lang talaga dun is that sobrang dikit na because it was already jam, yung inner hex niya, tapos sobrang rusted na by water. So these are the contributors para magkaroon siya ng ganong klaseng concern. So you can see in the screen na makikita natin si genuine, we have Thailand and Japan. And then we're using hexagon flange. So this means that medyo naka-elevate yung ano natin, hindi siya lubog na lubog. When you insert it doon sa socket, hindi siya all the way through. So madali siya. You can actually use a simple tool lang na pang grip and then remove it. That's it. Kasi some products are using washer na sobrang kapit na, ang hirap na tanggalin once na insert na. So this is small things na we put into effort in producing our product. Another design advantage, case number 5, is of course the dimensions in to assemble vehicle, especially for the control arm. Now, sabi ko nga sa inyo, we share research and development facility. We have specialists, IT engineers, or many engineering related employees within CTR na they really look through our products. Now, one of the advantage kasi with the facility like this is that we have so much information already or data para tayong data center for OE since nag-start si CTR sa OE manufacturer naman, 'di ba? So you can see the precision na lang nila dito. For the center hole of the bush, if hole location is not correct, ano kailangan gawin ng ibang product or ng customer pag ini-install na? The iron should be deformed to assemble the other parts. So imagine, kailangan pa natin yung perfectly okay na product, kailangan natin i-deform para lang mag-fit into that control arm. So in this case kasi, if you were to buy a CTR product, you can guarantee na meron na tayong precision. So it's already precise within that certain product. So okay na, swak na siya. Wala na tayong magiging problema. Because you can really trust na with such facility, meron tayong research dyan. So guarantee tayo dyan. Now, another ano lang natin is, of course, the comparison test with the brand. So here, makikita po natin some testings that being done in Korea para at least you have an idea of what those testings, kasi we mentioned only the equipment. Now, here's a video being used para dito. So, we'll play it now.
Wear durability test. Tie rodent. Hybrid stabilizer link. Ball joint. High-low temp conditions. Seal durability test. Center link. Fatigue durability test. Inner outer tie rod assembly. Displacement measuring. Ball joint. Test value. Rotating torque measuring. Ball joint. Impact test. Inner outer tie rod assembly. Salt spray test. Pull-out test. Inner tie rod. Test result output.
So, upon watching the video itself, makikita po natin they had several testings conducted. So, many of those are related into suspension and steering. Talagang tino-torture nila up to a point na kailangan na magsira ng product. Why? This is to really test the durability of the production from their side. So, hindi ka kasi pwede maging with all the certification that you have, you cannot actually accomplish that pag substandard lang ang gawa mo. So, makikita natin those testings are being conducted several hundred of times para lang ma-roll out before exported outside of the domestic business, which is domestic country, which is in Korea. So, another testing, pakita ko po sa inyo, is the stabilizer link. So, here, very simple lang po pakita ko dito. So, before and after here, makikita natin they have a certain score. The ideal value na kailangan ng isang car manufacturer is actually 0. But in this case, in reality, hindi po natin ma-achieve yan. Even though kahit sa kanila, this is just a testing na para who can actually come close to being 0 is yun yung guaranteed natin. So in this case, makikita natin Japan. This is their gap. For Thailand, makikita natin this is the gap that the naging value nila. Si China, of course, hindi nakayanan yung testing, it actually got broken. Natanggal po siya, nasira. So, imagine you using that product in your vehicle tapos in highway speed ka, what would happen na lang. So, that's very dangerous. So, be mindful. For CTR, this is our test value. Okay, so another one is the ball joint. So, wear durability test, torque strength test, makikita natin si Europe brand and then si CTR. So, these tests shows that si CTR is actually closest to having an ideal value ng company or the car manufacturer. A comparison test with others, makikita natin si steel ball seat, grease nipple type, and then the plastic engineered ball seat. The testing actually shows na consistent tayo in terms of the structure against the competitor. So makikita natin align dito. So this is actually the degree of wear and tear ng steel ball seat against a plastic ball seat. So the red one is actually the engineered plastic ball. So consistency plastic ball seat. So makikita natin naman si steel ball seat nagkakaroon ng increase. So this is actually the cause for yung clearance niya lumalaki na. Another one, comparison test with aftermarket brands is the torque strength test pa rin for ball joint. Now, here we have an E brand, USA brand. So, ito na-mention naman natin kanina that sometimes products can actually, yung kanyang design is already a contributor for potential damage. So, makikita natin dito si CTR, it's aftermarket with its pull-out test. Sa video po, nakita natin how they were able to pull out yung kanyang product. Dito, sa other side, si USA brand, nagkaroon siya ng ball, ng crack within sa kanyang housing. So, hindi na po natin siya pwede magamit. So, another one. This is for the wear durability test. USA brand, boot condition. So, makikita natin, there was a leak ng grease niya and then loss of function of sealing. So, nagkaroon din siya ng deformation dahil sa init. So, this is what I was telling you na hindi ka pwede maglabas ng OE product with these kinds of testing na very, very substandard lang siya. They didn't go to a proper research and development, which we have. They didn't go to enough testing to be conducted para maiwasan nila tong it was easily avoided tong ganitong damage because of their test, the lack of facility or something. Ito naman, comparison test with other brands again before the durability test. This is for the ball seat condition. Ito yung kanina sinasabi ko. Smooth yung kanyang ball seat for CTR, and then of course we had the metal housing. So the metal housing, yan, makikita natin ano yung naging problema niya. For the comparison test, this one is for the durability test ng tie rod end. So ito naman yung sa rubber boot niya. Makikita nyo, once nag-stretch na siya, nagkakaroon na siya ng breakage, or nagbe-brittle na siya, nagkaroon ng loose. So this should not happen kasi cars are supposed to be well versatile in terms of its function. Yung mga pagliliko niya dapat nasusuportahan ng mga aftermarket, ng mga products natin to align yung vehicle natin, hindi nagkakaroon ng any problem. So in this case, nagkaroon ng problem na butas, just simply doing a durability test, wear durability test. So this is by bending multiple of hundreds of times yung kanyang rubber boot. So nagkaroon siya ng problem. So you can see here, the ideal natin is dapat 0 pa rin as for manufacturer. And then of course, the closest natin is, na-achieve natin is 0. So we are aligned with the standard ng mga car brands natin. Another one is the ball joint durability test. This is actually the strength test. So again, for OE, Japan, and then a CTR, we have a lower score value that is actually ideal. Closest, kung sino yung pinaka-closest ideal ng car manufacturer is better. Now, here's a corrosion resistance test. So, makikita ho natin dito na nilagay po sila sa isang incubator na highly exposed by salt. So this is a salt spray test basically. So expose natin sila within hundreds of hours para makita yung kanyang corrosion. So why do we need to do this? Bakit po? Very simple lang naman, because of course as an OE manufacturer, we have to put those things in mind, even the smallest details. Makikita po natin dito in the images being shown, si ball joint, tie rod, stabilizer link, and rack end. So, makikita natin dito na lahat sila nagkaroon ng corrosion. Mostly si Thailand and Japan nagkaroon ng corrosion, yung mga Thailand products. As you can see, Ctr actually was, hindi natamaan siya ng corrosion, but it's not the same as the others. Mas matagal po siya because we have a coating in the body na it prevents, or it's a resistance. Kumbaga, this type of paint is actually considered as OE na agad, standard. So again, align tayo with all standard ng OE. Okay, so another thing that we need to look at is issue of incorrect product usage. Ano po ba to? One, in many cases, when we buy into a retail store, pupunta tayo sa retail, no? Papakita tayo, we have a sample of the product. We don't know kung left or right siya. So, in some cases po kasi, sa sobrang busy na po ng retail store or na nag-a-assist sa customer, minsan, hindi niya na po naalala, hindi niya na rin po ma-recognize kung anong part na ba to. So, he would just look at it by appearance alone. So, pag binigay niya na po sa inyo yan and then you see it na magkaparehas without any knowledge na pang anong side to, without any markings na left or right ba, you would say na okay na siya. No. Kailangan po natin gamitin. Meron po tayong mga proper ways, proper equipment, meron tayong mga tools, di ba, pag ginagamit para for certain usage. Same goes with the parts. Meron po silang certain usage for certain vehicles. So, hindi po natin, porket nasa kaliwa po siya, pwede po natin gamitin sa kanan. Kung kanan po siya, pwede po natin gamitin. Hindi po. Why? Kasi nagkakaroon po tayo ng problem with it, integrity. So, the integrity itself, magkakaroon tayo ng issue. Kasi hindi naman siya supposedly gawa para sa kanan. It was supposed to be built para po talaga siya sa kaliwa. Ayan. So, yun po yung ano natin dito sa incorrect. Ano po ba implication nito once nagkaroon tayo ng problem? One, of course, the dealers. Nagkakaroon ng problema. Si si customer. Once the customer see this, he would actually blame si mechanic. Now, we don't want to have any problem with the mechanic. Surely naman, he has an understanding of how to install it. It just so happened maybe that time na hindi niya na-notice or there was no any markings na which side is it. Nakita niya na lang, pwede pala. So, here is actually image na pwede natin gawing sample. This is for Kia Sorento 2008. Makikita natin the correct assembly. And then ito sinadya po namin na install para makita niyo po. So this one is an incorrect assembly. So makikita natin with the correct assembly, it is perfectly aligned with its hole o dun sa kanyang match. Wala po siyang bending, there's no wear po sa kanyang product. For the incorrect naman po, sinadya natin to para makita natin what will happen to the item. Or in this case po, ito yung sa stab link niya, stabilizer link. So in this case, si stabilizer link, once we were able to install it, nakita na po natin there was already concern. Nakabend na po siya agad. That should not happen kahit sa installation pa lang. Okay, so be mindful when you are selling kasi this could have an implication na si product maybe hindi ganun kaganda. And then we would be blaming yung product na naman. And then ano na yun, domino effect na. Once the customer complains, the mechanic will get blamed. Si mechanic ibabalik kay retail. Si retail magko-complain sa company po or sa supplier itself. Si supplier will go to the manufacturer. So, this is a domino effect that we really want to emphasize na this can be avoided basta properly na i-inspect yung product prior to installation. Another issues natin, of course, yung mga unsuitable use. Ano po ba yung meaning natin na unsuitable? So, in some cases, meron po tayong product, apple sa apple, pero isa green. Same naman po sila, but the design itself is different. Of course, makikita natin this one is completely, pag tinignan nyo po mata sa mata in malayo, para magkapareha sila. Okay. Pag kinompare mo po sila, side by side, sasabihin mo they can be installed immediately kasi wala naman difference. Hindi po natin pwede gawin yun or it is not advisable kasi these products are designed to be well addressed dun sa kanyang vehicle. So, it should complement yung tamang vehicle niya. Hindi po porket si Fortuner na ball joint, pwede po natin gamitin sa Toyota. Hindi po ganon. Toyota na Vios or any small cars, hindi po pwede. Kahit po magkamukha sila, makikita po natin sa slide para po sa application. So, makikita natin this is for Toyota. Kahit tingnan po natin yung part number, hindi po siya. It may look similar but it is not acceptable for the other brands. Hindi po siya pwede interchange. That is a no-no. Malayong-malayo po yan. Another sample, ito po. This is an outline of our product. So, from these alone, makikita na po namin by the numbers or the dimension, sobrang layo niya po. Pero pag tinignan nyo from a distance, magkaparehas na magkaparehas. So, that's why they have part numbers to really, they have a designation kung para lang po saan sila. So, keep that in mind. Another sample, of course, yung similar shape but different application. So, makikita natin, marami with so many parts ng kotse, there is bound na magkamukha sila. And that you would assume na pwede po sila doon. Hindi po. You look at the part number, we would be providing, of course, pwede naman po natin i-online check through our catalog or pwede po nyo tanungin si mismo supplier nyo and para po saan siya. And then, of course, they would advise you na this is for this particular model. And they would provide you with the proper part para po doon sa designated na kotse nyo. Okay. So actually, we're nearing our orientation. And then, of course, I'd like to thank you, TGC Group from Leyte area, Tacloban, Samar, and Bicol area for this. I hope may natutunan po sila for today. And then, of course, we'll be moving into the Q&A. Dito po, meron po tayong mga prizes and I hope you can stay tuned pa for our question and answer. Okay, so thank you.
Hi. Okay, so guys, of course, now you were able to watch the ano natin, yung seminar natin na follow throughout nyo. Of course, this time naman po mag-quiz tayo. I'd like to give out a quiz lang regarding dito sa ano natin sa seminar natin ngayon. So, ang quiz lang natin for this one, and mga kasagot po will get 500 worth of GC tatlong participant po. Kailangan naka-register po sila. Okay, so, ang quiz po natin, saan po ba mabibili ang CTR product? Yan. So, please comment po. Yan.
Or screen mo. Tapos may question din. Makalabas.
So, makikita po natin. So, just give me an answer po kung saan. Madali lang naman po yan. It's very, very easy po, especially with our partners. So, yan. So, yan. Sige po. Okay. So, nakasagot na. Wow, okay. Mga nagko-comment, sige. Sige po. Sige po. Wow. Nice. So, lahat sumagot. So, we would choose 3 po dito. So, I think ang announcement will be coming from the staff na po dito na TGC. So, next question po natin. Flash lang po natin sa screen ang question natin. Next question is, how many percent does CTR produces for Japanese vehicles? Kung napanood niyo po kanina, ito po, in-emphasize ko po ito, na hindi lang po tayo for Korean. So, we do also, meron din po tayong mga for Japanese, American, and European. So, sinabi ko po ito kanina na in-highlight pa po namin, sinumpa po namin para po makita niyo. So, ano po ba? How many percent po ba the CTR produces for Japanese? Kasi predominantly, si CTR also covers a lot of Japanese vehicles for in the market. So, hindi lang po siya for Korean. So actually,
Siya yun.
so, yan. Actually, makikita niyo po, yan. Meron na po tayo actually nakasagot. Meron na. So, congratulations po kung sino po man kayo. I can see from your comment. So, for this one, we would be also giving out some prizes. So, next tayo sa next question po. So, flash natin sa screen. Yung next question natin. Ayan. Actually, the answer is yes. 54%. 54. Yeah. So, before kasi meron tayong arrangement. So, this is actually the latest data. So, next, ito po sinasabi ko, ini-emphasize ko paulit-ulit. Paulit-ulit po kung ano po yung ating, ang ating slogan. Sinabi ko po ito na the aftermarket po na CTR. Yan, kung ano po yung kanyang slogan. So, I hope naalala din po nila to. Kailangan tama po spelling. Spelling should be correct po. This is a global slogan po ng CTR. We take pride on this one. So, hindi ko po ma-accept even a single mistake. So, I can see some comments. Hindi po. So, kailangan po tama spelling. Close na po tayo. Tama po dapat ng spelling. So we need to see. Kailangan po tama ang spelling natin. I will not accept. I think this is acceptable na po. Meron na po, meron na po. Yan. So yung iba po, iba yung mga sinabi nila. Iba yung mga ano. Oo. Okay, so ipa-flash natin yung
Last one. Ito po ako.
okay. So, yan. So, yes. Ayan. Yan ang answer po natin. So, it is take OE Tech with you. So, kung ano yung ko na lang po Okay, so it's take OE Tech with you. As I mentioned po kasi si CTR is actually an OE company and then an aftermarket. So they take pride sa pag-produce po ng mga aftermarket products with the same technology that being applied sa OE business natin. So take OE Tech with you. So when you buy any CTR po, please remember lahat po ng product ni CTR is equivalent or aligned with OE standard. Okay, so next po tayo. We'll go with the next question po. So lahat po naman to will be giving out some prizes. Yan. So next question natin. So give a sample design advantage of CTR ball joint. Ano po ba? Pinash pa po ito sa screen. Ano po ba yung advantage ng CTR ball joint? So we mentioned this na ang advantage niya po is isa po sa mga pinaka-highlight ng kanyang technology. Sige po, basahin po natin lahat ng comment na. Reading every comment. Okay. So guys, meron po tayong mga prizes for all the winners. We will be shipping them out. So ano po ba? It was actually just a 2-word yung ano ko po. Sinabi ko, it was already flash pa po. Ano po ba advantage ng... okay. So may nakasagot. I can see from the comment yan. Consistent. Meron tayong mga ano, I'm looking at all the comments. Okay, so wow. Okay, so the answer is maintenance free po tayo. Bakit po? Because it's compared to the convention na we do not need to apply any lubricant or electricity dun sa product. So it is completely maintenance free sa ating mga ball joints. So this is one key takeaway ng product ni CTR na you can actually really give a priority in terms of long-term usage ng ating product. So maintenance free po, keep that in mind. So next question po natin. What are the names of 2 car manufacturers that have similar technology with CTR product? What are the names of 2 car manufacturers that have similar technology with CTR product? Ito po sinabi ko kanina na makikita po natin na meron na po silang kamukha or big. So announcement is that all winners will be notified and will be announced in our group. So take that into account po natin. So sinabi ko po to ay nagpakita pa po ako actually ng video. Meron pa po tayong sample video. Nag-flash po tayo ng 2 brands, well-known brand in the Philippines. Both, hint na lang po, bibigyan ko kayo, they're both actually Japanese. So dalawa po yung sinabi ko. Sino po ba gumagamit ng mga sample we suspected na meron na po rin same technology as here? So we flash 2 dalawang video, isa po actual video and then a photo. So makikita. So tingnan natin. There na. Okay. So, the answer is Toyota and Mitsubishi. So, ito po, we suspected that they are also using the same kind of technology with the CTR brand. So, in terms of the OE standard, we align with ourselves nga po. That is, kaya po na nasabi natin our slogan is take OE technically. So, with these companies, si Toyota and Mitsubishi, they're already using such technology. So, we of course put ourselves into the same position na paano yung production nila. So, si Toyota and Mitsubishi are clearly using the same technology. So, you can trust CTR for all your Japanese vehicles. Next question po. Next question natin. Ito, sobrang hirap po nito. This is so hard. Sobrang hirap na hirap ako dito. When and where was CTR established? My God. Hirap po nito. When and where was CTR established? Daming movies. I mean, there's one particular movie. There's one particular movie talagang hindi ko makakalimutan. Very handsome Korean guy. The date itself, yeah. So, saan po, when and where was CTR established? Siyempre, the country, alam naman po natin, saan po siya na-establish? Okay. So, of course, ang answer po natin is 1952, Busan, Korea. Yan, okay. So, for this one, so, guys, we're live now. We can proceed with any of your questions. Sa Q&A na po tayo. Yeah, so any question that you have, we have free time before we actually finish with the seminar po natin ngayon. So I'll be answering, hopefully I can answer some of the questions na ipapadol niyo po sa akin. Okay, any questions po? Any questions that you guys got? Questions? Any questions related to CTR brand, other brands, application, technology? So, ano po ba yung ano natin? So guys, even with the questions, meron din po tayo mga items. Okay. So may mga nagko-comment pa tungkol sa, sa Korea. So there's a delay, I think. Yeah, so any question po, we'll take. How would that, paano ba natin matakot? Yeah, so any questions that you guys got? So, comment section. So I'll read it out on the comment section na lang. So, shout out tayo. Okay, Sir Ellie Lim. Ano advantage mo sa 3.5? Sir, regarding with the 3.5, very broad kasi yung question mo with the advantage of CPR, regarding with the 5.5. So, in this case lang kasi, in this case po kasi, we're, in terms of the product or its history, we align ourselves really with the OE. We started as an OE manufacturer and then shifted into aftermarket. So I guess one of the advantages that we can say is that we have facilities or we have backgrounds in terms of OE business talaga. More than 60 years or 68 years to be exact. So I think that's one advantage na meron talaga si CTR against 3.5. The reliability po ni product, of course, with CTR. So, another question. Hanap po tayo. Hope na nasagot ko po, Sir Ellie. Ellie Lim. Hanap po tayo. Sir Felberty, pa-shoutout po from Bato later. Yes, sir. Shoutout po. God. Damn! Ano lagi napapalitan pyesa, suspension, and steering? Sir, one question per ano po tayo. So let's give a chance po sa iba. Sir Raja Suelo, pa-shoutout. Sir Paul. Yes, yan Sir Raja. Shoutout po sa inyo. Suquano Molato Edward, shoutout sir. Sir, from Samar, ask ko po kung may ibang product ko pa sir from under chassis. Sir, for now, the concentration po talaga natin is in steering and suspension. Doon tayo talaga specialized. So we don't want to venture into something na hindi naman specialty ni CTR because baka sabihin ginagamit pala natin yung brand. So we stick with the specialty of CTR. Sir Mar Manyosa. Paano po malalaman na genuine or fake? Sir, sige po. For this one, we are only actually the supplier for CTR here in the Philippines. So, ngayon po, with our partnership with TGC, you can get actually all original guarantee po na CTR. Now, if there is any claim na fake po siya, you can call our attention regarding this so that we can actually accommodate such concern. Pero we can guarantee po it is 100% genuine CTR products that TGC Group is actually selling to the whole region ng Pilipinas. So, available po lahat ng CTR products natin nationwide, all across TGC affiliated stores. So, check nyo po sila. Sir, ano ulit, si Sir Eli. Sir Eli, yes, we are actually a specialist for Hyundai. Meron po tayo, Sir, Hyundai. Sir Erwin, thank you, I love you. So, some comments po nila kung meron po bang fake. Wala po tayong fake in the market. If there is any evidence na meron pong fake, you can call our attention regarding this and we will take immediate action po. Roger Gabiola, pa-shoutout from Allen Samar. Hi, sir. So, what are the main goals of CTR? Really, our main goal lang po, Sir Eli, is we want to be a part of the industry in terms of the suspension and steering part trade. So, not many know this, but nag-start talaga si CTR as an OE business. So, we've been using the product long enough na, but we really don't know that it is actually made from CTR. So, this is just an opportunity. And of course, accessibility na magkaroon tayo ng product na with the same standard and reliability coming from the OE side. So, in terms of the price, we can get that same kind of quality with the aftermarket or the CTR product na nakikita nyo sa mga TGC stores. May warranty po ba ang CTR brand, sir? So that is actually a very, very hard question. In terms of reliability kasi natin, sir, maraming factors po when we offer warranty. Medyo matatagalin tayo dyan, sir. Pero for now, we will leave it at unanswerable para at least once you buy naman, sir, ng product ng CTR, the retails are well nasabihan naman po sila regarding any terms with the CTR brand. So, please do check time when you change your suspension, check it po sa mga TGC retail stores. How about in your after sales? Suquano Molato Edward. Sir Suquano, so for this one, in the after, immediately naman, sir, kung saan nyo po sila nabili, especially for the TGC, they will accommodate immediately regarding this one. So you can trust the after sales will be guaranteed with the CTR brand. Okay, so Jerome ANS, thank you for watching. So I'm just scrolling down po, tinitingnan po natin kung ano yung mga question po. So, guys, you need to be registered po in and out. So, kailangan for you to claim some the prices, kailangan po naka-register po sila at the end of the program. Tama po. Yeah. Supplier store po ba kayo dito sa Luzon, Pangasinan area? We're exclusive, sir. Yeah, so you can message actually the Carter Clinic admins. Kung saan kayo, sir, pwede bumili kung sakali po ng mga product ni CTR. Kailan po kayo, sir, mayroong mga promo, sale ng CTR. Sir, actually, Sir June Molato, thank you for the question. Sir, with this question po, in terms of the pricing, I can guarantee that we are lower in terms of the market leader. So, sa sale namin, sir, what we do is we tie it up with mga promos, mga shirts, giveaway. So, you can check time and time po, time after time, sir, kaya ila TGC retail stores. Okay. So, marami tayong mga questions that
Sabi ni Richard, ano ba yung mention niya?
yeah, so yeah.
Adli.
So po, like, ayan. Okay. Okay, so just reading out. So, in terms of the product naman po kasi ni CTR, what we really are offering is, of course, people can actually enjoy the profit in terms of the business. So, CTR is well versed in terms of the pricing. So, you can guarantee actually the price in terms of the mechanics. Yan. So, malaki po yung ano natin, gap between the market leader and us po. But the quality is guaranteed OE. Yeah, at par po siya, or aligned with this OE brand. So, check po natin yun. Okay, so just scrolling down, just give some question pa po kasi we have a few, I think, minutes left. So, we'll accommodate.
Last question.
So, last question. We have one last question. So, the last question for today po, magagaling po kay Sir Romeo. Sir Romeo or Gel. Sorry, sir, kung binubutcher ko po yung pangalan natin. Gaano katatag ang stabilizer link? May hanggang, wait lang, may hanggang ba yung kalagayan ng 5.5 na tibay daw na 200? Sir, with that comment alone, you mentioned dowel. So, this means na-try na po ba natin or hindi pa? If not, sir, this would be based on hearsay pa lang naman sir talaga. What we really would offer, kasi there's not a pavement na dito sa Pilipinas, this would still depend on the road condition you're at. Kasi with so many road na ginagawa, baka po hindi natin masabi na aabot po siya in that particular na sinabi niyo sila 200,000. So, it also, contributor din po si driver in terms of the reliability or the longevity ng product natin. So, sir, in terms of this, one note lang po, hindi po siya pang off-road. This is for city driving mostly. So, I think pag city driving, it can last up to close enough or up to the mentioned niya, sir, kilometers. So, pero in certain products naman, sir, wala, I think even engine oils or any other products don't last 200,000 kilometers without any changing. So, yun po. So, we're guys, I like to really say ganito po. mahal na mahal po kayo ni CTR. And of course, gusto po namin na try nyo po experience the product itself for you to really have an experience with the product. So CTR would greatly appreciate, sir, mga ma'am and sir, for you to try CTR. And so guys, from Korea itself, mahal na mahal po kayo ni CTR. Okay? Okay, so I hope any questions pa po, we'll take note po. Pero this is actually the last part of our session. So everybody who is watching, thank you so much for your attendance and participation. Sobrang appreciated po namin from CTR Philippines and CTR Korea. Thank you very much po. Yes.